The Bitcoin price currently hanging on by a thread. If Bitcoin fails to hit back to these key levels, then we're going to see potential for more downside in Bitcoin and the altcoins. We're going to dive in and find out what it is that's causing this downward sell pressure for Bitcoin, as well as why this recovery pattern is still in play. It's all to play for, so hit that like button and let's get into today's video. Now, I showed you on yesterday's video this price pattern for Bitcoin, which effectively is a reaccumulation schematic from Wyckoff reaccumulation that basically shows key levels in Bitcoin that big money is using to manipulate the prices of Bitcoin and shake out the retail investors. That's why just on Friday we saw significant downside in this spring area and then a bounce. We are still waiting to see a test, but something absolutely crucial is happening right now. We're coming out of the spring phase into the test phase, but something is causing us to see further downside in this area. And you can see this wick here is a bit of a cause for concern. So what is this downwards pressure when everyone was getting so bullish yesterday? Where's it coming from? Well, if we come over to Thomas Farah's page, we can see that the German government is currently selling the pump with another 4,850 Bitcoin being sold to exchanges in just the last 1 hour alone. That means that while others are trying to buy back into the crypto market, German government is continuing to sell off. And that's why we're seeing this wick being shown here. Now, others who are more used to traditional trading patterns like this big double top pattern here will know that if you break a pattern like this, you tend to go towards the downside and then retest this pattern before seeing further downside. Another crucial thing to look at is the 200-day moving average. Now, the 200-day moving average is why today is so crucial for Bitcoin. It couldn't be more important whether or not we reclaim this level, about $58,900. Why? Well, because this moving average has pretty much been the bull market support band for Bitcoin ever since the lows that we saw back in December 2022. You will see that on the 10th of March 2023, Bitcoin found support on this key line and then bounced higher. It then came down near enough to this line, bouncing again. It did eventually fall back through and find a resistance here. And it's this that is so important. If Bitcoin fails to find support above this line again, it could be using this as resistance, and it would mean that we will spend longer down below these levels, and this will once again be bearish for the altcoin market. So this probably feels pretty scary considering yesterday was life's recovery day. Well, what I like about this current situation is very black and white. Not everything is. Right now, we're seeing that this line is pretty much going to be what is going to control this next move. Because if rejected here, this will come down harder and it will invalidate that very key pattern. This very key pattern. Had everyone shaken out at spring, we were ready to bounce up higher to around the low 60s to maybe retest around the current levels 58 to 59k and then see further upside. This was going to see a retest of all-time highs into late September, into October perhaps, and gave us a great springboard to be playing with. But I think there's little cause for concern. Why? Because while the German government and others seem to be selling off into this area, others out there are accumulating in massive volumes. Who? The likes of BlackRock and other ETFs are seeing huge inflows, with BlackRock recently buying over 3,000 new Bitcoin. And while there is selling pressure continuing in this zone, there is others who are stepping in and willing to buy into this area. And those of you who like to look at simple trading patterns will realize that actually we're just producing another very simple trading pattern here on the 4-hour chart. And that is the double bottom on the 4-hour, the W. You can see we've broken the neckline. We've now come back to retest this line here. Now, a break of this particular pattern higher would be back towards these key levels here, all the way up to $63,200. And this, I think, is the most likely scenario because it's still very much in line with this around $63,200. You can see runs into this area here and then a retest lower to around 69,188. I see most likely. And you can see this would probably be in line with the 200 moving average on the 400 chart, which would bounce us down to somewhere around the sort of 60k. And then what we would look to see would be a bounce like this. If we get that confirmation, which I'm still confident that we're going to get, you'll see that we have this low, we then have a higher low, and then next up an even higher low, and this will show that the trend is shifting from downtrend into uptrend. What other catalysts have we got that could be potential to see significant upside? Well, tomorrow, July the 11th, is something very, very important, something we've been talking about on the channel for quite some time now, and it's the core inflation data. Now, why does this inflation data have such an impact on crypto? Well, because crypto is a risk asset. Big money doesn't really want to invest in risk assets when there's better ways to be making money. For example, holding US dollars, where you can benefit from interest rates, which are currently very, very high. Interest rates have been extremely high to try to reduce inflation. However, just last week, the US announced unemployment rates which were higher than anticipated. If unemployment rates start to come higher, it means that the economy is starting to struggle more, and therefore, in a struggling economy, you need to start to look at bringing down interest rates. However, they're not going to be bringing down interest rates unless inflation is starting to come down as well. If inflation is lower tomorrow than anticipated, which there's a potentially reasonable chance it will be, then that will be a very bullish catalyst that will suddenly fire Bitcoin back above that 200 moving average if it doesn't already happen today. So despite the selling pressure that we're seeing from the German government right now, we're still seeing significant buying pressure from the ETFs and ultimately the smart money who's stepping back into the market at this time. So do I think there's anything to worry about? Well, not really. I think the only reason that we would see a significant reason to worry is if we were having another candle down and breaking down below this low at around $53,000, $54,000, because that would see further capitulation, probably down to at least $50,000, and if unable to hold $50,000, then down towards this sort of $43,000 level, at which case you're going to see a very bleak, awful time for altcoins. And what about for the bears who are thinking that actually this is the end of the cycle? This is when it's all over. Well, firstly, if I was one of those people, I probably wouldn't waste my time watching crypto YouTube videos, but thanks for giving me views anyway. But here's the truth. Bitcoin has significant spikes in volume, trading volume, around the absolute bottoms and the absolute tops. Why? Because pretty much a cabal runs this, okay? As a group of individuals and organizations who basically dictate where the Bitcoin price is going to move to. They manipulate the markets and crypto Twitter in order to be able to trade and make as much money as possible. Therefore, they know when the markets are in the absolute bottoms and they know when the markets are at the absolute tops, and that's when the volume is going to be the absolute biggest. On the bottom of this chart, you can see the volume being shown here. Then you'll notice these things. The low that came in around COVID saw a significant surge in volume all the way up to this level. That wasn't seen again until this level, when it already got to the top of the first bull market peak. You can see it then sold off very aggressively, and that indicated the bottom of the market, then again at the top of the market. And yes, you'll say that Bitcoin went higher after that, but ultimately this was the major first bull market, the Bitcoin bull market that everyone was paying attention to. You will see then the next time we see a significant spike in volume was here, the FTX crash, all the way back on the 7th of November 2022. Right now, we've seen Bitcoin rallying higher, but look at the volume. We have seen significant buying volume, but there was never a significant sell-off in volume like this one here, or like this one at the top of the last bull market. If we go back to 2017, you will see similar large scale volume pumping into the market, big pumps towards the upside. That was back in 2017 when the market cap was significantly smaller than it is right now in crypto. And look, while the Bitcoin price surged all the way up on the 11th of March, the volume was way below what it was back in 2017 when the crypto market was so much smaller than it is right now. That's an indicator, if anything, that wasn't the top, that even if we do see some downside from here, that at some point in the future we will see further highs. So if the price does sell off, guess what? You get another good opportunity to be able to load up if you missed out on this dip. However, I don't think, because of the sentiment in the market, that we are going to fall significantly lower than this. And that's because we're in a bull market right now, and we're at a fear greed index of 28. How do we know we're in the bull market? Well, because we've been going up since the 14th of November 2022. The crypto market is moving towards the upside, whether it has pullbacks, whether it comes lower or whatever. If it comes lower than this, then happy days. All I'll continue to do if we get further dips is continue to buy more. Why? Because ultimately, we've not seen the top of the market. We will eventually see the top of the market, but this is not it. And where do we go next for Bitcoin? Well, I think if you take a swing high, swing low on the Fibonacci, you will see the 1.618 comes in at this level, around 84,700. And if we run through the peaks here, then you'll see that Bitcoin is basically projected to reach out towards this level later on in the year, maybe into the autumn. Maybe this doesn't even happen until after Christmas into early 2025. But I'm pretty much certain in the next few months, maybe up to 6 months, that we will see these levels and significantly beyond that. And if we do, then the altcoins, etc., are going to explode as well. And if you've been buying those dips, you're going to be rewarded greatly for doing that. Now, if you're anything like me and you're bullish on Bitcoin and you anticipate more upside for crypto over the coming months and years, you're thinking to yourself, well, how do I make more of a passive income into the future? Well, that's why today the channel's partnered up with Go Mining, who allow you to buy NFTs and shares in mining farms where you can earn up to 30% paid in Bitcoin, which to me is absolutely unheard of. So let's find out how they do it. Well, in the past, you may have thought about mining Bitcoin or Casper or Ethereum yourself, but then you probably realized it's expensive to buy the equipment, you probably don't know how to set it up, you need lots of space, it drains your electricity bill, it's very noisy, and, so many other issues. So what Go Mining does is for as little as $30, and if you stick around to the end of this, I'll show you how you can get a discount as well from the House of Crypto. They have 9 data centers around the world full of mining equipment where they're mining Bitcoin on a daily basis. And their company is already worth $126.4 million. So obviously pretty reputable. Now what they do is they basically buy loads of mining equipment in various different countries, which means it's running over 99% of the time without any downtime. And they encourage users to invest and basically hold an NFT. And this is a token of your investment. And you can see they're backed by Binance Pools and other big names in crypto. So let's find out how to do it. Well, all you got to do is click Get Started, and you can see it's going to ask you to create a miner. Now you can see the computing power, and if you know anything about mining, you'll understand that the more computing power you have, the more rewards you can earn. But to get onto the level 1, you can see that it's going to cost you $28.99. And if you use the discount code HOUSE, then you're going to be able to save 5% on your maintenance fees. Now you can see it, $28.99, a Bitcoin price around $70,000, which obviously it's lower right now, but near enough. Then per year, I'll make $20.67, but there is a maintenance fee of $10.17. That means that my annual return on investment will be around 36.2%, which if you're considering taking money out of crypto and looking to something a little bit more long-term and safer, is unbelievable. I was thinking about buying houses, I was thinking about doing other businesses, and ultimately I couldn't find anything that really gave me much more than a 10% income. Now you can see that that's the $28 model, but if I go up and I increase the power level, you'll see it's going to cost me a little bit more, $3,281, but the annual return on investment is then even higher at 43.48%. And yes, you're like, yeah, this relies on Bitcoin having a price around 70K, but it seems to me that Bitcoin is going to have a significantly higher price over a period of time than this. And if you anticipate into the future that Bitcoin could have a price of around $1 million and you're getting paid out in Bitcoin, then you can see that it's potentially extremely profitable. Now you can see you can either pay by card or you can pay in crypto. And this is something that I'm using to take profits in. So every time I'm making profits, I'll chip them into buying mining and ultimately building up my passive income in Bitcoin. Now you can see that there's also a marketplace where you can go and buy other mining devices. And you'll see that all of these mining devices are in the Go Mining token. So if we jump across to look at Go Mining as a project itself, then you'll see that it's worth $120 million by market cap. Circulating supply is near enough 100%, and the trading volume so far is actually pretty big. It's also worth noting that Go Mining has actually been pretty impressive in outperforming the crypto market, and that's because by holding Go Mining tokens and investing more Go Mining tokens, you're going to get better benefits for using the mining platforms themselves. You can also click on Go Miners, and by buying various different NFTs and things like that, then you can bring down the mining costs for your miners that you have in circulation. So in the past, you probably looked at buying NFT projects, and if you ever did, they never really held their value. This project will continue to mine Bitcoin into the future, and the more of these NFTs and things you hold bring down your cost, therefore increasing your profitability, and from this give you the ultimate opportunity to earn a passive income in crypto. Therefore, if you believe in the future of cryptocurrency, this to me is a little bit of a no-brainer. Obviously, go away and do your own research. I'll leave a link for this down below in the description where you can find out more. So guys, nothing has changed in Bitcoin. We're still looking to regain those highs around $62,000 and then come and retest around 60K, and things will be looking good for Bitcoin. I put my faith in the fact that this pattern is going to play out towards the upside, and I'm so happy that I was buying into that dip. We can look at charts until we're blue in the face, but nothing is a better representation of the crypto market than this. Remember, Warren Buffett, buy fear, sell greed, and you can't go too far wrong. This is probably one of the most crucial pages to follow over on Twitter, Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index. And as well as following that, make sure you give me a follow as well, because I would really appreciate it. Link for Twitter down below. Make sure you go and check out Go Mining. Hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't, if you want to know what is going on in the crypto market on a day-to-day basis. Thanks for watching. See you later. Bye-bye.